Hi, I'm Charles. I direct Kaleidoscope School of Music here in the Seattle area. I teach lessons to people here in person in the Seattle area and all around the world online. And I've been doing a series of videos introducing my fleet of Godin guitars. I have 5 Godin Acoustics, I have 2 Godin Electrics. It's kind of funny that I had a Godin Telecaster that I bought in 1993 from Kelly Key's music chain here in the Seattle area, and it was quite some time before I bought another Godin. I was in Taylor's Music in Philadelphia visiting the East Coast where I grew up, and walked in and played the Godin nylon string acoustic and fell in love with it instantly. And since then, my interest kind of exploded. And if you'd like to see my videos about some of my other Godin guitars, check links in the description below, or this channel. Just look back through our videos. I have a Godin A6 demo, a 12-string demo, an overview of all my acoustics, etc. But today I was going to talk about this rather unique instrument. Godin has made a couple of instruments with this kind of strange body shape. This one is called an Inuk, and it is a 11-string instrument. A lot of people think it's like just kind of like a pint-sized 12-string, but it's actually different in that every string pair, unlike the 12-string where some of them are an octave apart, like the lower strings have the standard acoustic guitar string plus a string an octave higher. This one, they're all in the same octave, so that contributes to a different sound. Later on, I'm going to make a video where I compare the 12-string and 11-string in the same video. But this one's more about just this instrument. For whatever reason, these Godin guitars that have the 11 strings, they chose to have just a single on the bottom. I don't know if that's because it's nice to have one lower note. It can be a kind of a single pedal tone without that doubled sound. But the Godin Oud, which I also have, multi-Oud, it's up there, that is the same way, same body shape. I'm personally not a huge fan of this body shape. I will say that being a lead guitar player, I would like to have even more frets and more reach. But I still am glad I bought this instrument. I'll tell you a little bit more about why I bought it, but first let's see what it sounds like. So acoustically it sounds like this. Like all the Godin acoustic electrics, not very big sound when you're not plugged in, but a pleasant sound. I'm just using standard guitar tuning right now. So that's the unplugged in sound. Unlike my larger Godin acoustics, this one has, this is the, shows you here, that is the control set. It's not on the front like all the other ones. It's a tuner, built-in tuner, which the others don't have, which is a bypass, and then a volume treble and bass. So I'm going to set these so the treble and bass are about 2/3 up, the volume's kind of down. I'm going to plug it into a JBL speaker here. This is a 1,000-watt active speaker, but very dry sound, no processing, no reverb, just straight up sound. So we'll see what that does to this. The place that you plug it in is right here. It's got the typical battery, easy access in the back. So here's what the sound is cut through this 1,000-watt speaker with no EQ or fancy stuff. I feel like this instrument's really unique because it doesn't quite sound like a 12-string. Doesn't totally sound like a mandolin, though. That's kind of where it's headed. It definitely sounds folksier, so it's nice if you're trying to just kind of create layers. So I used it on my Queen's Gambit Vast Story video where I layered a whole bunch of guitars, and I just kind of used this one for a different character. I used it on my Sirens by Kelsey Ballerini cover. It just gives a different tonality to layer up because it's a little bit more folksy and not like a 12-string. think one of the potential advantages of this guitar is because the strings are not an octave apart, when you're playing scales and so forth, you have that more consistent tone of always sounding like a mandolin. One thing that kind of bugs me about playing certain lines on a 12 string is the jump from having paired strings in the same octave to having strings that are an octave apart. It just always sounds a little weird on scales and so forth, but this one doesn't have that issue. So that's some lines on it, but always loved plugging things into the Fishman. So for rock shows and that kind of thing, we have used this. We've used it on free fall into the show. I always plug it through the mains, maybe add just some reverb from the board. But when I'm recording or just keying or playing for my own enjoyment, always use the Fishman Mini Loudbox here. So we're gonna swap chords here and see what that sounds like. So here's the Fishman with some reverb. Sounds a little bright, so the dial to the highs back a little bit. I've got kind of the seagull shape on the Fishman, you know, high bass, lower middle, but I just kind of killed the treble a little bit. It's actually a pretty functional acoustic guitar just for general use too, just different character. I was trying to make use of that pedal tone E string here. I think it's a very cool instrument, really great sounding guitar, like most of the Godin products, well, all of the Godin products that I've tried. I bought this sight unseen just based on how much I enjoyed their nylon string acoustic electric. So I just saw it in a listing on Sweetwater, I think, and was just like, I'll buy another Godin, what the heck. Sounding a little out of tune here. The other thing that, aside from just, you know, falling in love with Godin acoustics over the last 5 years, another thing that really spurred this particular purchase was a song "Build Me Up from Bones" by Sarah, and I can't say her last name because it's some Czech name. I think it's Jarosz. Not sure how you say that. I'll probably link to her video, but she was playing a thing called an octave mandolin in that video. I'd never seen one, never heard of one. Look them up. It seems like they're mostly made kind of custom in the Southeast, and was seeing prices like $4,000. And but I love the sound of that instrument. I was like, man, I'd love to have one of those around just for tracking layers on recording projects. And thought maybe this would give me kind of the same thing, because, you know, octave mandolin basically looks like a 8-string, 4 pairs, guitar-sized mandolin. Kind of a guitar-sized mandolin, so I thought, hey, what the heck? Well, actually, it was kind of funny. That spurred me to buy this instrument, but then I never actually learned how to play the song on this instrument. So today, in preparation for this, I started messing around with how to play that. So I noticed that she had a capo on the 3rd fret. That enabled me to start figuring out what she was playing on that tune. What's weird, though, is I've got 5 pairs of strings plus a single low, and she's got 4 pairs of strings, so the shapes were kind of different, but I was able to figure out how to do it more or less. Let's see if I can do it here. So that was the opening chord. And then this one was a little hard because it's like you have to skip a string. Whoops. After comparing this to the original, I was like, that actually, yeah, I think I made a good choice. It kind of gives me the vibe of that song, much more so than any other guitar would. at a much cheaper price point than buying a $4,000 octave mandolin. She's also, because she's well, A, because she wrote the song, and B, because she's playing something where there's no string skipping involved because she's got less strings. I can't quite play it fast enough yet, but I may try to and make a actual legit cover of it on this instrument, so look for that later. I'm going to take another stab out here before I sign off. That's my best attempt right now at her beautiful song, Build Me Up from Bones. Thanks for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed this quick demo of a very unique instrument, and look for more equipment demos in the future. Thanks.